I pledge allegiance to the taco stands of the United Tacos of America, and to the taqueros and abuelas of this great land, one nation, under tortillas, with limones and salsas for all. I'm Mando. Okay, sorry.
I'm Mando Rayo.
And I'm Jarod Neece.
And we're still taco journalists.
Exploring tacos and taco culture throughout the United States. Today, a topic near and dear to our hearts, taco journalism.
What is that?
The culinary world's language of love.
Oh my God.
Yes, and considering how taco culture has exploded in recent years, it's a goal that we strive towards.
That's right. Yeah, we don't just eat tacos and review them. We journalize them.
That's right. We live it.
We love it.
Live it, love it.
Here's the thing. When we got started, I was like, all right, it just kind of happened.
Yeah.
And that's cool. But I also wanted to develop these stories kind of in my own way, the way I would want to be represented. Hey, let's talk about, those people that cook the tacos and that, don't have big PR budgets.
That's right.
But let's learn their story and really take this opportunity to share their roots of their food and their traditions and what they're going through, their fights and their plights.
That's right. And we wanted to talk about it responsibly, respectfully. A lot of these, old school restaurants that we were near and dear to our hearts weren't getting the love that we felt they were deserving.
We wanted to shine the light.
And we shined the light on their tacos.
And we shoned it.
It was shown.
And it came down like this.
Yes.
Hey, yeah, there's this big, taco truck that's like, getting all the fame and fortune.
Taking
but I'm
the air out of the room.
Exactly. So let's go to these taquerias, these mom and pop shop where the gente goes and, let's go support them and tell those stories.
We're going to be talking to two of the top taco journalists in the U.S., outside of ourselves, obviously.
Obviously.
I look up to this dude a lot, Gustavo Arellano. He's an OG from the OC.
That's right.
And, whenever he's talking, I'm usually listening.
That's right. And then, of course, Kristen Garcia, way up in Portlandia,
yes.
I guess.
Yeah, giving us that perspective.
Yeah.
She is at the forefront of digital media and digital commerce. And
right.
So it'll be cool to see, her take on taco journalism and, respectful and responsible journalism.
Yeah, and we also wanted to shine the light on, some publications, some online sites that we love because we know they're doing great work.
And then Mando and I are going to put our knowledge to the test in the next installment of Taco Jeopardy with Miss Lily Lopez.
They're not feeding us the questions either. I told them.
They might feed us tacos.
But not the questions.
They're not feeding us the questions.
That's right.
Coming up next, taco shout-outs.
That's right. New Worldler.
Yay.
That's how you pronounce it. They're billed as the premier source of in-depth information on food, culture, travel across Latin America. You see all kinds of, great stories that, just don't cover, what's the hottest food trend in the U.S., but like, what are people doing in Oaxaca, in Mexico, in Chile, in Central America. So I love kind of their approach to
they have a couple cool articles, Guide to Alternatives to Goya Products, and a photo essay entitled Inside an Alpaca Slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's great.
Can't talk about taco journalism without talking about LA Taco. We were able to talk to Daniel Hernandez, who was there for a long time. And, they're independently owned and operated out of LA. They were just nominated for a James Beard
Emerging Voice. No, they won the James Beard Award.
They won the James Beard Emerging Voice Award, which is super cool.
That's right. And then, speaking of like those voices out there that aren't just these publications, but, they're individuals doing, their part. Bill Motherflippin' Esparza.
That man has opinions.
That's right. He's a James Beard Award-winning writer, author of LA Mexicano, and he was definitely in our LA episode talking about birria, giving me a hard time for dipping the birria.
And we were like,
whatever.
But Bill, like you dip, we dip, we all dip. And then obviously Javier Cabral, who is the now editor of LA Taco. He was part of the Netflix's Taco Chronicles. He was Jonathan Gold, restaurant scout. He was a guy, him and Ruth Reichel and people like that who were just kind of going outside of the normal, fine dining restaurants back in the day whenever food writing was usually kind of this hoity-toity affair. Like, he really kind of brought it back to the people.
Yeah, and I mean, these people like, Jonathan Gold and Anthony Bourdain,
obviously,
where, you see these writers, these personalities that are talking about Mexican food, in a good way, and not just like this kitschy way or it's like a trend. For them, it was definitely, they went deep into where that food comes from. And
Bourdain, being growing up and coming up through restaurants, he recognized that everyone in the back of the house was either from Mexico or South America, that this was actually the backbone of these restaurants, French restaurants, fine dining. This is all built on the back of Latinos and Hispanic culture, and it's he really shined a light on that, and he approached his writing with a lot of respect for the people and the cultures, and you knew you were going to get the real deal, that he was going to go in there and talk to the right people, and his voice is obviously severely missed.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it.
That's it.
That's all we're going to call out today.
That's right. We called out and then
shout out, actually.
We shouted it out from the rooftops. That's right. We talk about things, we shout at things, we eat things. Stick around. We're going to be back. We're going to be talking about, we're going to have some fun Jeopardy stuff with Miss Lily Lopez. We're going to talk to Gustavo and Kristen and see what they think about taco journalism in the world of media right now as it is today. So you got to stick around. You got to stick around after the break. We'll be back. Tacos will be here. We'll be here.
We'll be here.
You'll be here because you're going to be here. So great. Okay, bye.
I'm Mando Rayo.
And I'm Jarod Neece.
And we're taco journalists, going to talk about taco journalism.
Imagine that.
And responsible food journalism. On the line, we have Gustavo Arellano, who's a featured writer for the Los Angeles Times, obviously author of one of the most comprehensive books on Mexican cuisine in the United States, Taco USA, which I have somewhere around here. I was going to
it's
do the shout out.
One of my favorites.
Former publisher and editor of Orange County's alternative weekly, OC Weekly. And of course, if you're Mexican in the United States and you didn't know about Ask a Mexican, you were like living under a rock. So
now you know.
Yeah. So welcome, Gustavo.
Gracias for having me.
We're also going to talk to Krista Garcia, a longtime food blogger. Her blog, Goodies First, chronicles what to eat from American to Vietnamese and where to find it, from New York City to the Middle East. Her work has appeared in a wide range of publications, including Eater, Fedor's, New York Mag, and the Washington Post, and she is an expert in digital commerce. Welcome, Krista.
Gustavo, let's start with you. You've obviously, kind of been at the forefront of Mexican food and Mexican food writing in the United States. How was it in the early days when you got started, and when was that? And how has it changed?
I started, early 2000s when I started writing food reviews for the OC Weekly, and I came with this idea that there was such a thing as authentic Mexican food and then fake Mexican food. And as I was writing articles over the years and just seeing all the different regional styles coming up from Mexico, but also getting into the Chicano styles that are already here in Southern California, then traveling more, that's when I realized, no, it's either authentic or none of it's authentic. And I'd rather it not be authentic because that means you're not handcuffed to any preconceived notion of what you're supposed to be.
So what do people think authentic is?
I've heard the explanations that whatever the abuelita made, that's what authentic. And if it's not that, then it's all fake Mexican at all, like completely. What I always tell people though is that that idea of authenticity, that is what has fueled Mexican food in the United States, going back to the 1880s, to the chili queens of San Antonio and the tamaleros of San Francisco. So the idea of authenticity does fuel the business of Mexican food, But to be so confined to it that you're not going to allow yourself to eat other styles of Mexican food, that's where I think it becomes dangerous. Or telling other people that your Mexican food is not quote unquote real.
Being in Texas, we see that all the time. It's like people from the valley, like, don't trust people from San Antonio. People from San Antonio don't trust people from Austin. And then people from El Paso don't trust anybody in Texas.
Totally.
Krista, so what, in your view, what are some of the more pressing issues facing food media today?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird. I mean, if you asked me a year ago, I might have a different take. But I mean, I feel like right now everything is like blowing up. I mean, I feel like gatekeeping is like such a huge issue. And I feel like there's like this younger generation that is like not taking it. I mean, I'm sure you're all familiar with all the Bon Appetit, craziness.
Indeed.
And when I was coming up, it was just like, that's just what it was. It was, you knew that it was, a bunch of like white men in charge and you couldn't really do anything about it. And I feel like in the past year, it's completely blown up. Like people are like, this is not acceptable. We're gonna quit jobs over it. They're now sort of getting clued into like what goes on behind the scenes in restaurants and like the restaurant and the magazine industry. And they don't like it. But they didn't really have a clue maybe 10 years ago.
No, it's definitely a whole new day. I think when I started writing, it was more about, and this was over 15 years ago, it was like, I wanted to see myself represented. Gustavo, how can we have responsible journalism where it brings in that whole experience versus just like shining the light on the celebrity chef?
You got to be the boss. I mean, that's what I ended up doing. When I started writing, I came into journalism by complete accident. I didn't know what I wanted to do or what I was going to do as a journalist. But once I figured it out, I said, you know what? I'm going to be boss because I like my newspaper, but we're not doing a lot of good things. I wasn't a food writer at first. I was a news reporter. And when you're a news reporter, you don't care about, you trust no one. So I never bought into the cult of celebrity. I never bought into the cult of the chef. I was always interested in the totality of the restaurant experience, from the economics to the people in the back or whatever. So that always governed my coverage of food.
I did not have a sort of hardcore journalism background. I just kind of came to it just as like a food blogger. I want to write about food. Yeah. And I feel like, there's like this sort of two competing things, like lifestyle versus actual like investigative kind of journalism. And I feel like right now there's kind of a crossroads where people are going to be more expected to actually ask the hard questions. You can't just be like, oh, here's 10 tacos that we love. You have to actually sort of delve deeper. All the chefs are heroes or rock stars or whatever. And I feel like that's changing. Like people are very critical of chefs now.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the chef. It's like who actually is contributing to the recipes. How are they treating the workers? Like all of that stuff has become so important.
Yeah.
You need to tell the stories of whatever you're covering. So say if you just have a blog devoted to Mexican food, okay, so tell all those different stories, but tell those stories of inequity, tell the stories of the supply chain of the food, but also tell the stories, frankly, of food that's good. Because I think along with food journalism, people want to know where to go eat. And now they want to know where to go eat responsibly. Yeah. Best example, LA Taco just won the James Beard Emerging Voices Award out here in Southern California. And so it looks like LA. It's not just Mexicanos writing it, it's Salvadoreños, it's Armenians, it's Koreans, Black men and women, and even a couple of token white people too. And in that coverage, in making sure that their newsroom or their writers look like LA, naturally you have an amazing website that's telling all these stories. None of the stories look like tokenism. And frankly, it's survival. Why would you in this day and age want a publication that doesn't look like the community you're supposed to be representing?
You have to reflect your community, and not just to reflect it because to do the right thing, but because people want to see themselves.
Yeah. But yet these media executives, they wonder oh, why aren't people reading us? Why aren't we getting subscription rates?
Yep.
It's because you're so arrogant in thinking that you could get away with not covering your community by looking like your community that you're failing.
Yeah. Thank you, both of you, for joining us for this conversation. Definitely, appreciate both of your insights. Let's kind of keep thumping on that good food journalism trail.
For sure. Thank you again.
All right. Thanks, y'all.
Cuídense.
Hi, I'm Lily Lopez, and this is the Taco Game Show.
Come on, edition!
Mando and Jarod.
Ready.
Today you are taking this challenge together. Although, when it is your turn, your opponent will have the opportunity to steal the point from you. This is a test of friendship. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, and this is also a test of expertise.
Oh. No.
Ready.
We can take away points before we give them.
Okay.
Okay? This is serious. This is on cable, folks.
Okay, I'm ready.
Question 1. A process to increase the nutritional value and taste of maize, in which the corn is soaked and cooked in an alkaline solution, then hulled. What is this called?
Nixtamalization.
Any rebuttals?
No.
That is correct. From here on out, though, what is?
What is? What was?
Okay,
what shall be?
What is the answer I got right?
A Laredo nickname for a muy spicy breakfast taco comes from the enthusiastic grito typically associated with this traditional Mexicano musician. Think about it. Give you a second.
What is a mariachi taco?
Rebuttals?
No rebuttal.
That is correct.
All tied up, all tied up.
All right, number 3, Mando. These tacos, made from dried grasshoppers and most notably consumed in central Mexico in Oaxaca, and they are served with limones, salsas, and guacamole.
Hold on. It's, what is chapulines?
Yes,
Correct.
that is correct. Ding, 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 ding.
Thanks. I work out.
Jarod, the earliest mention of the breakfast taco in a U.S. newspaper was in 1959. In an article reporting on one Mr. Joe Acosta selling bean and egg tacos outside of his little Chevy in this U.S. city.
Because I know breakfast tacos were not invented in Austin.
Definitely
For
not
sure not.
Austin.
I'm gonna say, what is San Antonio?
That is correct.
Go where, go where, go where.
Ding, 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 ding. Number 5, Mando.
Okay.
The 4th day of this month is known as National Taco Day in the United States, a date that's also shared by National Vodka Day.
It's the, it's not coming to me. October 4th.
What
No?
is?
Yes? What is October 4th?
Correct.
I like vodka.
It's all right.
Okay, Jarod, final question.
I'm ready.
What is Taco Cat spelled backwards?
Oh, he's never gonna get
What is Taco Cat?
That is correct. The judges are tallying up their scores now. And it's a tie.
Oh, again.
Again?
Best
It is.
friends.
All right.
All right, well, that concludes this round of the Taco Game Show. Thank you so much, and join us again soon. Do we get tacos now?
Yes, always. All right, guys, we're back. Taco journalism. We're back with viewer questions
Preguntas?
from @BTheWelder. Brooke, what's the most popular taco in Texas?
Ooh.
That's a hard one. Most popular taco
Tacos
in Texas. Holy moly. Texas is very big.
Yeah.
And I can tell you there's not one most popular taco in Texas. I don't know if there is.
The thing is, it could be by region.
Central Texas, you got breakfast tacos.
Yeah, and then you got brisket.
You got brisket tacos.
Brisket, is huge now. But, just along the border, I mean, street tacos,
Right.
obviously, straight up, whether it's barbacoa or al pastor. I mean, just general street tacos, bistec.
Yep. Bean and cheese tacos are always good. Bean
Always
and cheese.
bean and cheese. Ding, 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 ding.
Bean and cheese could be the taco that unites Texas.
That's right, bean and cheese.
Because everyone has their version of bean and cheese, no matter where you're at.
That's right.
Bean and cheese taco. Way
That's
to go.
it. Done.
Nailed it.
Okay, here's the next question from Eric Kidwell from the internet. How would you all define food journalism? Oh, what a
Wow.
timely question.
Definitions.
Very relevant question.
This is
to
a
this
taco
topic.
journalism episode. I would define food journalism as investigating the people behind the food.
I would agree with that.
More than just the food on the plate, it's about where it came from,
Peeling
how it
away
got
the
there.
layers.
Peeling away the layers.
You know,
It's
getting your hands in the
like
masa.
an ogre. It's that layers.
Yeah, exactly. I like that. We do. Taco journalism, food journalism. That's what we're about.
Well, that's a wrap. Another episode of United Tacos of America. We talked to some amazing taco journalists today.
Gustavo Arellano,
The man, the OG from the OC.
the myth, the legend.
Miss Krista Garcia, digital commerce, digital media
Blogger.
blogger.
Just started like us.
We definitely always love seeing Miss Lily Lopez, Taco Jeopardy. I think it ended the way I thought it was going to end.
Yeah, it ended with one winner.
Yes, and that winner, you know who that was.
Yeah, we don't need to
We don't need to
repeat
belabor that
it. So, we'll see you next time.
because there will be a next time because there are more tacos and we'll need to talk about
More
them.
tacos to be had.
All right, see you later.